Oh, wait, well, this is Ryder here with the page through of IVE's second album, Revive Plus, the Challengers version. Yeah, so unfortunately, my Barnes & Noble hasn't had this in stores. It's supposed to be, but it hasn't. And my sister just decided, like, we've already gone there, like, for like the past month, and they still haven't been in stock. So I might as well just order it for you and such. And I just told her, like, I mean, we can just wait. But then she already did it. So yeah, unfortunately, this is not the US version. So we're not going to get a US photo card nor a Barnes & Noble exclusive card. So that's going to be harder on us. So I think that'll basically mean, because this is the Korean release, you're not going to see certain inclusions that would have been included, because for some reason for Starship they like making their exclusives, not their exclusives, their inclusions first press only, and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a box, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, there's all that. So let's open this. I got this on Saturday, but it's Monday. It's May 4th. And I recall that Baby Monster actually made a comeback, I think yesterday, or technically today, so I might get their mini album too. Depends on how budgets go and such, because I have other plans, but I guess it... So there's... Yeah, so it's like a box, which is interesting. Trying to find the back. I have to make sure, obviously. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's just going to be a lot harder on me to having to track down the rest of the cards. But here we have the photo book. And yeah. When did I... Was this out since March? 00390 090. What's this? This probably means something, but I don't know. Also, I promise this one won't take as long as the last one, because I don't think I have much to express anymore with this album. I think the only thing I never got around to talking about was like the contention between whether or not this is considered an album or if it's just a mini album that happens to have solo music. But honestly though, I might just make that a different video, because not a Noun Dash Ryder, because I think it's too long. It's too long-winded of a topic to do for Noun Dash Ryder. But we got Eugen first. Okay, I guess we're getting to Bang Bang already. I do like that they're having lyrics for each song. Here we have Garu. But because I think I'm more interested into like why people necessarily have an issue about it, especially because like in my opinion, you still have a lot of albums to fall back to. So I feel like it's not really much of a loss of like one where like for one release you get solos because again, people are really upset about it. And it was because of this album that like really riled people up, and it ended up just people like pointing fingers like, well, who's the who's the group that like trendsetted this? And they're like, of course, it's the evil BTS. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, because people are acting as if all like people are acting as if it's like it's a big loss or something that like now like I think what I can understand, it's more so like people feel cheated because like I guess that's what I can get. People just feel cheated about the fact that it's like, oh, you advertise this being a full album only for it to be like only for there to be like half group songs and half solo songs and such. Because like in terms of a release, I don't think it really matters. This is Ray. How come Garu had more photos than everyone else so far? Did I miss the page? This looks like, if it was like zoomed out more, this looks like the car commercial with the zombie. What a weird way of cramming that group picture in. But I think basically that's what I can kind of summarize. People just basically feel cheated by a lot of K-pop companies being like, oh look, like here's an album, but like in technicality sense, it is not an album, and it's like, I don't know. Like, I think my issue is that people act, or like, I think most of the groups there's not really much groups that do it as their first album. So like, I'm okay with it being like, because again, this is their second album, so it's like I think we should give them leeway. We should give them some leeway into like, oh, this is pretty good, or this is a pretty nice photo, but we should give them some leeway into like, just like, oh well, like, you know, I feel like it kind of makes the album more special that like they went through the effort of like doing solos for the members and such. Because I feel like most of the time, like, from what I remember, a lot of older albums did that too, but only for like one member and such. So like, I guess it's more of a problem that it's album wide. Or people have more of an issue that it's album wide and such. Because like, I guess if I had to be critical about it, I obviously probably would prefer like a 70-30 split, I guess, of like probably do like 8 songs and then on top of that do the solos and such. I feel like that's kind of going to be the best option, but I know nowadays people just want the solos to be their own thing, which, yeah, makes sense, but I feel like, especially for it to be a physical release, I don't mind it. because like people are always bringing up like, well, like look at how aespa does it, look at how Twice did it, and it's like I think Twice's is fair because that was their special mini album and such. aespa's, none of their souls have been released physically. They've only been like digital releases, so I feel like that doesn't really count because you still don't really have like a physical way of owning those songs and such. I should have checked to see if these were the actual English lyrics for these songs, but looks like we're transitioning to the second concept, but Liso still hasn't been shown in the first concept. Alright, yeah, so Liso doesn't get any individual pictures from this concept, which is strange. That is a really strange way of doing that. But I think that's all I can kind of come up with right now in terms of why there's a lot of conversation in regards to what actually considers as an album, because everyone is like, well, like just do like 13 songs like the old days and such. But I feel like at the same time though, I don't know, maybe we should not have artists come back every 6 months if you want to have them to come back with a lot of content. That's kind of all I have to share. That's why I felt like this is kind of what I expected, because it's like they came back in August. Even that was kind of a bit too like soon, if I had to be honest. Because like I just still find it weird that like it's kind of normalized for artists to have 2 comebacks or 2 big releases per year. Because I only understood that if it was like, okay, look, we're doing an album and then we do an album repackage. But it's like, no, now they're just doing 2 completely different concepts per year. And it's like, I don't know, like, isn't that kind of taxing on them? I know they need to do work, but it's at the same time, it's just kind of like, that doesn't seem right in the sense. Okay, see, this release actually has text for odd. But does that, because like obviously like this is Wanyan's soul, so there is pictures of her. Does that mean Liso's end is going to have pictures from this concept? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, because I feel like that's kind of why I have a feeling that's kind of why a lot of companies kind of cheapen out on like, oh well, this is considered an album, even though it's like barely. I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of the thing. It's like you guys are already demanding for like, okay, yeah, that they are exactly doing that, which is weird. My rankings on the songs are still the same, by the way, which so I'm not really talking about the songs. But why did they do this to Liso? Why? It doesn't make sense. I just haven't listened to much of these songs in a while, just because I've been listening to a lot of Dreamcatcher. I've been going back to Dreamcatcher because I finally listened to like Boca, Odd Eye, and Because Because I had like a gap between Scream and Mason. Because the oldest I've listened to is Deja Vu, but I've been listening to a lot of Jazz Bard too. But yeah, like, because I know like Dreamcatcher was also brought up, but like obviously like people are gonna villainize BTS because it's BTS and because it's Hybe slash Big Hit. Because like they're always held like behind SM. It's like Hybe is now like the big bad villain within the K-pop community, and it's just kind of like so ridiculous. There we at Ray for Ray in Your Heart. Why? Now we're back to the other concept with her. You can barely see that. Cause like I think this issue got brought up because of like what ITZY's latest comeback. Cause I saw the track list and yeah, it's pretty bad. It's literally it's 3 group songs and then like solo songs. But like I don't know, I feel like they're not being deceptive is the thing. I feel like that's what people think they are. Oh, I think I get this now. Is this the page number? Okay, that's interesting. Because this is 85. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Because, do people just feel deceived and cheated by the fact that, like, group albums now are just mainly comprised of solo songs? Because, like, I don't know what makes it different that people are just like, well, maybe they should just make them debut solo then. It's like, I don't know. I don't think we need to jump to that extent. Okay, that is interesting. Yeah, that was the page number. So we're in the second half now? Because we're in these pictures now. Okay, that is neat. But it's probably not going to carry over like that. Okay, yeah, that is interesting. They're kind of paired in the sense. But why is it odd? Okay. That was a neat way how they laid that out, but because I think really the last big thing I like looked into with IVE was their cover on Genie, because I wasn't going to do a video about it initially, but then I saw people talking about how poorly cut, like how poorly edited it was, so I was like, oh, I gotta see this for myself, and yeah, it was bad. Yeah, we got this nice landscape shot. I don't know where this is. Probably California. However, that kid did it from The Wizard. But yeah, that was pretty neat overall. Let's take a look at the CD. Definitely wasn't like this. The Bangers version. Okay, so we do get a poster. Again, a neat group shot. Watch the photo cards are rarely so. Oh, we got a Liz postcard though, so that's neat. And then I don't know what. IVE, Bang Bang, Black Hole, Black Hole, Black Hole, Revolution, IVE Revive Plus. Yeah, so obviously I have to bring this up. So initially, when I did a short on obtaining the Bangers version for Revive Plus, I added a 1 because the whole gimmick of that one was like, oh, this is going to be a 2-part short because we're going to obtain the Challengers version the next time I go to Barnes & Noble, and it never showed up since. So, and because my sister already bought, these, so it was just, or bought this, so it was just like, okay, yeah, we can't do the short now. No way this will be Liz. Yeah, it's Ray. Cause I was like, I was only gonna have that luck once, so I'm pretty sure Liz's versions are easy to get and such. Just cause, you know, my sister is just assisting me in that now, so I don't remember how this was done. Guys, we got couples. I feel like I want to do a Now Dash Ryder on ship names. Well, I don't know. Because, like, I want to do the obvious joke of, like, oh, like, we're going to do... Like, you're going to think we're going to be talking about, like, K-pop ship names. But in actuality, we're going to be talking about ships. It's, like, literal ships. Because, like, obviously, that's just more... That's going to be, like, the obvious turn away and such. But at the same time, though, I want to follow it up with, like, an actual video talking about ship names. But with just a letter. So instead of being titled, like, ships, we're going to just call it Z-Ryder, like, lowercase Z-Ryder, because I genuinely don't get it. Actually, I'll put this away in later. But, yeah, so that's kind of my mental idea that I have in mind. Even though it's like, I need to finish year 3. Year 3, Now Dash Ryder still hasn't finished, and it's been 3 years. But, I don't know, because I think it would be dumb of just, like, trying to talk about ships, and then, like, follow it up with, like, Z-Ryder, because I think that would be a lot more not transformative, but, like, I think that would be a lot more interesting of an idea. Or just, like, talking about, like, because then it'll probably intrigue more people. Be like, why is this one now Z? Like, before we got D-Ryder, now we have Z-Ryder. And it's just gonna be talking about, like, ship names, because I think it's more interesting to, like, try to understand that, because I generally don't get why people just end things off with a Z. Because even Super Junior is doing that now with Super Junior 83Z, and it's like, are you supposed to pronounce the Z? Or, like, what does the Z stand for? I think that's just gonna be more fun researching, and then, like, you know, it'll get the point across, it'll get the topic across easier if we just did Z-Ryder instead of just doing ship-Ryder. Or, like, we can obviously, like, lead it to, we can start with ship-Ryder, where we try to talk about ships, but then it ends on another cliffhanger and being like, oh, like, look, guys, look what letter we found, the letter Z, and it just falls through. If you haven't been able to tell of the whole gimmick of the latter half of year 3 of Now Dash Ryder, where each entry leads itself into the next for the most part. The entries are more stringed together in a, like, not in the sense of like, oh, you have to watch the last one to understand it, but it's just more so like, if you watch the end of like again, if you watch the end of Repackaged Dash Ryder, that one, like, basically for the like second half, I will say, of year 3 of Now Dash Ryder, they've been like somewhat subtly been teasing what the next noun was going to be, except for Duration Dash Ryder, because that wasn't really planned at the time. But with like Photo Dash Ryder leading into Repackaged Dash Ryder, which then Repackaged Dash Ryder leads into Die Dash Ryder, and then goes back, which technically already loops back to Duration Dash Ryder, and then leads itself into Photo Dash Ryder. So it's like a continuous loop and such. But I have, it was 2 now. I don't know, cause like there's a lot of nouns I want to do at the same time. It's like we're kind of running out of time, cause it's like we have to do Quanya verse 3, cause that was already promised last year, but it fell through. Why did I forget what the second one, or the one after Bridge Dash Ryder was? It, do I have my phone on me? Because I've only written points for Bridge Dash Ryder. But there was one that like I thought was like actually genuinely a good idea. Now I forgot it because because Ship Dash Ryder and then Z Dash Ryder were the two that were like, oh, this will be funny to do. They might be year 4 ones if I have to be honest, but because I think year 3 needs to end. Oh, I remember the one after Bridge. It's supposed to be favorite, and then favorite, and then like, and not quotations. Not an apostrophe. But it's supposed to be stylized after 127's favorite vampire, but we're gonna like title it favorite biased. So then, but the whole joke is that, just like 127's favorite vampire, we're not gonna mention bias at all. We're not gonna like utter that word and such, because they never utter the word vampire in favorite. That's why the song is just titled Favorite. I don't know why it's subtitled, why it's specifically called like Favorite Vampire and such. And then it's gonna get followed up with Vampire. Depending on when this gets released, I might have just cut out that entire last segment, because it's just me vocally trying to brain out, or like lay out Now Dash Ryder, and I don't want to have that potentially spoiled and such. But I will say this might be it for IVE Revive Plus. I say it might be because I don't know. I feel like the last thing that basically, it's because of this version I want the digipacks for Gouder and Liz. I'm not gonna. IVE Empathy is the only one I went full on for, but like this one, I really want the digipacks for these two because like just look. So, and because they have the thing of like, oh look, we got specialized disc or member specific disc. So it's just like, that's what I think I was going to initially eye on if my sister did have enough when looking on here, because I was originally going to ask if she could have gotten the digipacks, but it wasn't in the cards. So you might see the digipack of this album, but I think as of now, this is going to be it. I'm not going to get the spoilers version. However, I did just secure the Pleve version of IVE Empathy off of Superbuy for really cheap. And I might backtrack and get those versions for IVE Switch and for this album, plus the merch, not the merch, the like plush versions. I don't think the plush ones would be, I was going to say, like, I don't think they're going to be in the pastries, but at the same time, we did the Cosme version for Red Velvet's Cosmic in this, or we covered that in this series. Because I was going to say, like, well, they might just be written reviews, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, we've kind of done both. I would like if the digipacks were released in stores, because apparently they are, which is why the spoilers version didn't get released here, but I don't know, again, my Barnes & Nobles was pretty bad, because they didn't even have this one in stock. So, I'll have to end this video now. This is Ryder, and I'll leave people. Bye.